Show. Always Irish Show. Always Irish Show. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? It's a poison. I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing. The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. No Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks, to a Saturday Night Live on a Sunday. You never know what you're going to get. It's a Sunday, but it's kind of still the weekend. And I got a feeling some of our people are hitting the bottle a little bit. As long as you're not driving, do what you're going to do. Have yourself a day. I had myself one yesterday. Have yourself a day. Okay, yeah, 9:01. You're late, John. I always pride myself on starting right on the dot. I had one more button I forgot. I'm telling you. I'm all thrown off because it's Sunday and I'm out of my routine and everything's just a little bit different on the off weekend. So I'm a little off. But we're gonna get to this. We got a couple callers already. I don't know what it's gonna be like tonight, whether we're gonna have a lot of people or if people have family stuff going on, parties, cookouts, whatever. God bless you. If it goes an hour, it goes an hour. I just wanted to do something on the night on the long weekend and be with you guys. Yeah, get to the callers, John. 1 minute. I see what you're doing, and I'm not going to let it work. We're in a good mood, and we're all having fun. Okay, so there's a couple things we need to go over. A little bit of news. There's just a few things, and then there's a couple things brewing with me with this A&M thing. What is it? 13 Saturdays? I think it's 13 Saturdays till the ball game. There's some things brewing that are on my mind that are a big deal to me, and many of them I have no patience for. Zero tolerance, none. There's certain aspects of what this Notre Dame A&M game is going to be that cannot be. That I don't have any patience for some of this stuff. So we're gonna go over that. All right, let's do the introduction. We got a couple chats. I'll bring it to the callers. We already got a few of them. I don't know what to expect tonight. I'm like an off weird schedule thing. I'll throw it to the callers after I do my intro in the chats. Then if we have time, I'll get into some of my bullet points. If not, we'll do them later in the week. Also, programming update. Since we're going live tonight, it doesn't really make sense to go live 10 hours later in the morning or whatever. So we're going to take tomorrow off. And, if the weather's nice, we'll be in the pool, whatever, do what you're going to do. So we're going to take tomorrow off. And then we'll have a video for you Tuesday. We'll be back live Wednesday and we'll get this schedule going. So let's get into this. I want to get to the callers, give them their time. So obviously, thanks for being here. Do hit subscribe on YouTube if you enjoy the content. If you don't. And I don't know why you're here, but hit subscribe if you like what you see and hear. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way you alerted every time a new episode drops. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. If you don't want to see my face, nobody blames you for that. Call-in lines. You know what it is. 312-988-15. Dialed up. Tell Uncle Johnny all you've heard and seen on the holiday weekend. What y'all drinking on. USA Today Fighting Irish, where you can read all about it there. Patreon.com/alwaysirish. It's former captain, leading tackler Mike Goolsby and myself breaking it all down. Got a little momentum. We got a little run of some people joining up on the Patreon. You love to see it. Maybe we're cranking back up towards the season, baby. 13 Saturdays. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to have a cue ball for Ed with no hair at this rate. Oh, there's some juicy content there. There's some juicy Juicy stuff. John's finally getting all the way through the intro. Dude, I have had people tell me, John, I kind of like your content, but I can't handle you doing that intro with all the dumb voices. And why do you do that? Can you just be normal? No, 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 no. That's not how I roll. That's an opportunity for me to be goofy and do my whole thing. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. What can I do with my voice to be dumb it's fun. So I'm going to continue to make dumb voices. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. The 30-minute intro is classic. You guys are critics, man. You're rough. What? The more beers you drink, the more critical you are, your boy. All right. Welcome. Keep the voices. They're not going anywhere. Once you start that too, once you start it like that, how do you go back to go? My email is alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Email me if you want to talk about stuff. No, boring. Boring is not my brand, people. You may not like me. You may not love me. A lot of you don't agree with me, but you can't say I'm boring. That's the one thing, baby. You could say a lot about me or whatever. And you can't ever claim my show's boring. I will not allow that. I will not allow it. All right. Thanks for being here. I hope you're having a relaxing weekend. Look at this Homer TD $20 holler. This gentleman was nice enough to text me and say before the show and say, John, we got family and friends over. We're doing a whole cooker, whatever for Memorial Day. I'm not going to be able to do my first call up that Tony always gets. And the guy donates anyways. Andy let me know he wasn't called, so I wouldn't worry about him. I love this guy. He's in the family. He's in the inner circle now, whether he likes it or not. He's stuck with us. All right. Little bit of news. First, Homer. Please remember the guys who gave it all. God bless America and go Irish. That's the other thing. I always say this for 4th of July, Memorial Day, that kind of thing. Remember what the holiday's about. And it isn't, I don't have to go to work. I could drink 90 beers and do a keg stand and embarrass my family. That ain't the point. For you to grill up a bunch of burgers and pound 90 beers that ain't the point. Please remember why we have holidays like this, okay? And you know what? In a lot of ways, while we're drinking and you're cooking out and you don't have to work and it's a rough weekend for a lot of people. It's a rough weekend for a lot of people in my family as well. And they made it back from Vietnam. And a lot of their best friends didn't. There's a lot of people that struggle with this situation. So keep that in mind as you're doing your party. Listen, I'm not trying to dampen your party or whatever. Have a good time, but do keep in mind the purpose of all this. Callers, right now I have 3 of you. I want you all to be patient. Stay with me. I'm going to do a couple chats and then we'll bring it right to the callers, okay? Yeah, don't drink and drive. That's the other one. I just have no patience for it. I've seen it ruin too many lives professionally and personally. It's just not worth it. And in the Uber age and all that, you really don't have just don't do it. Can't one person in your group not get hammered? Is that much to ask? I know I'm getting old and I don't party like I used to, but can't one person in your friend group not drink 90 shots and drive around the country at night or something? I've seen it ruin way too many lives of good people, and it's ruined everything. So just don't let it happen, okay? So keep that in mind as well. Okay, also, one more sad thing. Then we'll get to the fun stuff and the calls and the football, okay? Thoughts are with the PGA Tour community. Player Grayson Murray withdrew from a tournament and then it appears passed away at his own hand, according to the family. He has battled many, many demons throughout his golf career. He's spoken about it, depression, anxiety, alcohol issues. It's been a really rough road for Grayson Murray, and trying to deal with those issues and the pressure of being a professional golfer doesn't help. And it was really a tough day for all of the PGA Tour family, his family, and all that. And again, if you're in a dark place, this is something close to me as well. Unfortunately, I've been down this road as well. If you're in a dark place for whatever reason, thinking about hurting somebody or yourself or whatever, you're in that dark, get help. Ask for help. And everybody, man, check on your people. It's all you can do. Check on your people. You may not be able to solve every problem or whatever. Check on your people. Just a simple text. Are you good? Whatever it is, just try and look out for your people. So really uncomfortable, awkward feeling at that PGA event and just somber and really sad. So I want to keep all the PGA Tour people and his family in our thoughts as well. Okay, so we got through that. Quickly, let me mention this. Mark Zachary, really good pickup. And this has been known for a while. I'm not going to blow up the kid's spot and be like, it's a for sure thing, but we've been hinting to that. Really, really good commitment. Like, I just love it. Own your state. 4-star guy. According to Rivals, he's the second highest ranked guy in Notre Dame's class. Really, really good pickup. And I know Goolsby was talking about, does this pickup allow Dallas Golden to flip over, play some offense? Just a really good job there. And for everybody that has concerns about Notre Dame's recruiting and at 25, how good of a class really is that kind of thing? He's the second highest rated guy in that class. So it's hard to not look at this as a big win for Notre Dame over the weekend. And I know they're not going to hold that number one spot. I know that. We all know that. But I like seeing it there while it's there. Do you have D-line recruits? Probably. D-line concerns? Probably. Do you want better receiver? Probably. I agree with those. But you got to say, another really good weekend for Notre Dame, and you got more good news coming, according to everybody I talk to and everybody I hear from that gives me this kind of stuff. So that's what's up. Carberry, what's the deal? People saying they hope you feel better. Did I miss something? I hope you are feeling better, whatever the problem is. Irish Football Players Union meeting in June. Bro, I don't know where this is all going to lead, and I don't know how Notre Dame's going to thread the needle. I've spoken about it before. Really feels like Notre Dame's kind of swimming against the tide, wanting their football operation to still value academics in a world that's racing. They're racing right to NFL junior is what this is quickly going to turn into. Now, we could debate, maybe this balances out the playing field. Everybody's got to pay out this money. Maybe that balances it out. I don't know. But here's the thing, though. Adam, what's going on? You got off that boat? When are we, Adam? Let's record content from your boat. Me and you, I'm just kicking it on the boat. I think we could have some interesting content. And no, that's not just me trying to bite myself on your boat. We could get some content out of it. By NFL junior, the guys are getting paid. And it's just is what it is. They're getting paid, man. Everybody. But here's my thought. The idea of we're just going to, this will balance it out because now everybody can pay and it's going to be roughly same amounts or whatever. And this is going to balance it all out. Why are we to think that why wouldn't you just pay what everybody else is paying and then offer more under the table, old school way to get ahead? It just costs you more now. That's the thing. Whatever the solution is for any of the money stuff, whatever people say the solution is, there's a way around it. You do the legal thing and then you just add more on top of it under granny's porch, the old school way. The old school way. The way that the bag man that I knew doing it for Alabama in the old days used to do it. It was literally just a bag under grandma's porch in a bad neighborhood. And then they went to Alabama. That's how it went. Okay? So why am I to think that they're not just going to do whatever everybody else does and then add more under the table to get the guys they want? It's just going to cost you more. But you could do the same thing philosophically and practically you could always do before. Right? So I don't know. That's just how I see it. But it's going to be interesting. And a lot of people aren't going to be able to pay it. Middle tier teams, whatever, they don't have $20 million to pay. Forget it. They're not going to do it. So there's going to be a big divide, more than there already is as far as the haves and the have-nots. I even predict a I think you're heading towards a break-off playoff system for group of 5 and then lower level teams or whatever. I think you're heading to that. They're not going to be able to compete. And it's going to be the teams that can't afford to pay out that money. 20 to 22 million a year, whatever. Some of those budgets are already in the negative. They're not going to be able to do it. Andrew, he's on the line. Where's the political caller? He's on the line. And we're not going to talk politics, but he is on the line and he's going to come up second. So, all right, I'm going to do another super chat. We'll get into the calls. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of callers, so everybody get to your points. Like we don't have 15, 20 minutes for everybody tonight. That's a good problem to have for the group, but I'm just letting you know kind of where it stands. Also, congratulations to the lacrosse team playing for the championship Monday. I was alerted by Tim, the political caller, by the way, via text. The time changed. They're worried about weather. So the time changed for that game. So everybody make sure you don't miss it or tune in late thinking it's a different time. John, you should give an NIL deal to a 3-star walk-on. Bro, where am I supposed to come up with all this NIL money? I'm still trying to get this operation into a really stable place. Let me attack one problem at a time. Okay. All right. What the other super chat? It's the commander. I appreciate that. $5 holler. Anybody? I got 5 on it. Oh, what a classic song, man. It's just that for some reason that song will never get old to me. And there's 80 remixes with every different rapper doing that beat for the I got 5 on it. It's beautiful, man. I love it. All right. Let's see. Everybody on the line, hold on. We'll get to you. But if you guys could get your points, that'd be helpful. Pistol Pete's coming up first. What's going on, Pete?
John, great to hear from you.
You too, Pete.
I'll add to something that you said in your intro. Not only, I love listening to you as on this show, but grateful for your friendship as well, for you and your family as well, too.
Oh, thank you, Pete. Appreciate it, man. The circle's growing, and me and my family feel very fortunate to get to know all these cool Notre Dame people we never would have met. Every time we're in town for a tailgate now, we know everybody and the group grows. It's just, it's very, I don't take that for granted. It's my favorite thing about doing this is the relationships and the people I've met. It's a great thing. Now, Pete, I understand you got your ticket hookup all set up. What's your ticket situation for this year?
I got every home game, and I'll be making the trip to West Lafayette to see us play Purdue. So hopefully we'll shut them out and not have to hear the pounding of that 80-foot drum.
Yes, I'm not a big fan of the drum, and there may be an Always Irish contingent there. I probably will not be there because we're doing the official Notre Dame tailgate at Notre Dame for Miami, Ohio the next week. So I don't want to be gone 2 weeks in a row. But if there's enough interest from you guys that want to go to the Purdue, I'll make sure I get somebody the flag and make sure we represent and have a good Always Irish tailgate, but I can't be gone 2 weeks in a row. So it's going to be really interesting to see. So Pete, we got 13 Saturdays, brother. What's on your mind as far as Texas A&M? What are you thinking? You got 13 weeks to stew on it. Any new thoughts?
Well, that's 97 days from today, and if I heard correctly, it sounds like Riley Leonard is working with Phillip Rivers and some of the other quarterbacks maybe as well, and some of the other receivers maybe as well. So if that is the case, then that should help your concern a little bit about getting continuity down before fall camp.
Yeah, Pete, I saw those people put it in the chat too. I did see it looked, somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure what I saw, it was Carr, Leonard, and Deuce with those receivers. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure the picture I saw, all those guys were there throwing. And I don't know if that's something different than what you were talking about or not, but it looked like those guys were all hanging out. And it was Leonard, Carr, and Deuce, I'm pretty sure. And I love seeing it. They could be sitting on a porch somewhere drinking 80 beers, and instead they're working together. I love seeing it, Pete. Love it.
that would make your guy Frank Leahy proud then too.
It would. It would certainly make Frank proud. There's never a moment to waste. Perfection for Notre Dame's always the expectation and the goal. And Frank wasn't happy with anything but that, Pete. So it's a beautiful thing. Pete, what do you think about this? Is something that's been on my mind. What do you think about the environment at A&M? How big of a deal do you think that is? That our week one game with the new quarterback, a redone offensive line with a lot of new faces that don't have a lot of experience. You're going in this place, it's going to be loud, hot, a lot of loud, drunk people. How big of a deal is that? I don't want to overestimate it, but I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't admit it's something Notre Dame's going to have to overcome and be a part of the discussion.
The offensive line being young and inexperienced is a concern for me, as it sounds like it is for you too. And I'm happy at least we have an experienced quarterback going into that environment. And better so this year compared to last year, we have an experienced offensive coordinator who has also coached in that environment too.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me push back a little bit. If I wanted to go on the glass half empty side, I'd say, yeah, Riley Leonard has experience. He also has kind of a tedious injury history, and he doesn't have experience in Notre Dame's offense running what Mike Denbrock wants to do. And he missed most of almost all of spring. That's in my mind as well. Like, he has experience, but in a lot of ways he doesn't have experience. So that's in my mind too.
I can understand your concern on that. And that's where it's also nice that if it is true, that at least he is working with the receivers right now rather than coming into fall camp just cold and starting from the beginning. So there's at least a start anyway.
Yeah, there is. And you know what makes me feel good, Pete? I have a lot of questions. Most of my questions about Notre Dame and A&M are on the offensive side of the ball for Notre Dame. While I have those anxieties, and they are real, and I believe justified as well, I feel pretty confident Notre Dame's defense is going to be ready to go. I do. I think that group is rounding into form year 3 under Al Golden. Like, I think they have a good blend of veteran and young talent. I think they're going to start out with confidence that the offense doesn't have yet because they haven't all been together and done much. I feel like that defense is going to come ready to play. And as much hesitation as I have to buy into the offense, I'm equally confident on the other side. That defense is going to come pissed off and ready to play week 1.
I'll say this. Please, of course, tell me whether you agree or disagree. I know it's 14 weeks away right now, but I'll say right now, win the toss, let's defer, and let's put our defense on the field to start the game.
Yeah, I would not have a problem with that in this environment at all for a couple reasons. Number one is the defense should be, until proven otherwise, the strength of the Notre Dame team and program. And also, if you could get a 3-and-out or do some good things there, it'll quiet that crowd a little bit right away from what you're doing on defense, which I think is preferable to receiving the ball and it's at a fever pitch and football's back and they all drink their cowboy moonshine, oil, drink, whatever they're doing, and they're all worked up. I agree with you on that.
I meant to ask you, too, before, where was the firehouse that Frank would stay in?
Oh, somebody tell me the streets. It's I'm picturing it, but I can't tell you the street. Does anybody know the street name? It's right there. I'm picturing it, walking by it, but I can't tell you. I'll have to look up the intersection of where it is. But I always, and whenever I'm there with Jack Sacco, he mentions it too. Maybe I'll look it up in this old book, Pete, and I'll send you some info on it. I forget. Good question, though.
I've talked to some friends, and it sounds like, I mean, if they're not doing a tailgate the weekend of yours, that they would be willing to at least make an appearance at your tailgate too. So as long as that's okay.
Hey, the more the merrier. You know that. I'm open to everybody. I even say the people that don't like me, come and have a free beer. I don't care. I want to be open to everybody and give everybody to feel welcome, everybody to feel like they have a home base and a place to hang out. So that's the idea. And we're sticking to it, and it's done good for us so far. So I don't know, Pete. What do you make of the settlement with the NCAA settling their case and the money being paid out from now on and retroactively and proactively in the future? What do you make of that?
I don't know that this is good for college football.
Yeah, it's but the horse is out of the barn, like we're never going back. So now it's just whatever it's going to be. It's going to be some variation of this. And I've been thinking about, Pete, does it help Notre Dame? Does it hurt Notre Dame? What is it change? Like, I don't know where I fall on this. Notre Dame's going to be able to come up with the money to do this and be a part of it all. Practically, I just don't know what it changes for Notre Dame or not. I'm just honestly not sure.
I'm not sure either.
So I think we're in wait and see mode, just like the playoff, Pete. It's all hypothesis right now. Nobody has any answers, and you're going to have to wait and see how these things go. Are there any unintended negative consequences? Like, who knows? So playoff and with this payout settlement stuff, we're just going to have to see. I don't have the answers.
I liked listening to your show the other day where you were talking about us having a playoff game as we're thinking about Santa Claus coming down the chimney.
I need it. Pete, I need it. I need it cold. I want it snowing. I want Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, flying over the stadium. Give me all of it, man. I want all of it.
Absolutely. You want to see one of those teams from down south having to come up and play a night game here in the Midwest where it's cold and snow.
Oh, yeah. That's the ideal path, Pete. If Notre Dame's not going to be eligible for a round one bye, the next easiest path to get where we want to go is hosting that home game. Maybe you host the 12 seed or whatever, and then that's the next best outcome. That's what I need.
And how much would John love it if that was LSU and Brian Kelly coming in the bitter cold night game in South Bend, Indiana?
Pete, the buildup would be astronomical. The buildup would be absolutely outrageous. The drama, the fan bases, the media all going at it. It would be absolutely outrageous. Pete, thanks for giving me a call on a Sunday. What do you got on the way out, man? Thanks for hitting me up.
Well, as always, I mean, for anybody out there who's never attended one of John's tailgates, definitely recommend that you come to one it's the Miami of Ohio game this year, right, John?
Yep.
Highly recommend. You will not be disappointed, and you get to meet more Always Irish family and become a regular part of it. And happy that John has made me part of the family, and love this show. And yes, right.
Oh boy, Pete, you're getting good at it, man. You're getting good at it. You don't need, yeah.
One last question: any new merchandise coming out, John?
Oh, I got a couple things. I got a couple ideas, and I'll probably drop them when we get into August camp, because that's when all the emotion builds back up and all the numbers come back and everything. I got a couple ideas, so we'll let it rip when we're getting ready to start camp up. We'll do it.
All right, let's cheer the lacrosse team on to victory tomorrow, and I would guess that Freeman will be at that game.
Probably. He's everywhere else important. So, yeah. Pete, have a good long weekend, my friend. And thanks for always being a part of everything. Appreciate you.
Thanks, John. Go Irish.
Go Irish. Have a good one. Pete's a good guy, man. He's the guy when I did the little walkthrough with all of the not merchandise, all of the autographs and the pictures. I did that video. That was Pete's house, and he took Kelly's picture down and put one of me up, and I autographed it. It was beautiful. Made me feel happy. People are saying, oh, here we go again with people telling other people that they shouldn't have money or whatever. This is a little different. This isn't me being like, this lawyer shouldn't get this amount of money because I don't have that amount of money. Can't we agree that this discussion is a little different than that? I get what you're saying when you're like, who is anybody saying anybody else can't get their money or whatever? This isn't just like, I'm mad that this random accountant's making money. This is connected to something different, right? And I also think that's why the NCAA struggles in court on this issue. because they see all this as so different than like a regular employer-employee situation. But in the eyes of the law, they don't see a difference. That's where this all got messed up sideways for the NCAA. They're arguing all this nuance about amateurism in court and all this stuff. And then the court's just going, the law's the law. You're working these guys like dogs. They need to get paid. Like, you can't do it. So I don't know, man. Look at this. Blyberg. I like that. My wife's sister thinks John's attractive. She's into heroin skinny look. The first part of that was awesome, and then it went downhill quick. Oh my God, that's really funny. Oh, that's really funny. Jeez, could you imagine? Could you imagine me on drugs? Like, I'm bad enough. Look at how I am normal. Look at how I am straight up. I even had a beer today. Could you imagine me on drugs? If anything, I need downers. That's the other thing. If anybody's giving me anything, we need to make sure it's going to bring John down a notch. I don't need anything to get cranked back up with my personality. That wouldn't be good for anybody, damn it. Oh, that's funny. Man, she's got a type and she sticks to it. That's a good one. You guys are hilarious. $5 hour from Andrew. Happy's brother. I don't love what's going on with the money in college football, but isn't this a good thing for ND? The old way hasn't worked in the past 36 years. Yeah, the only issue I have is philosophically, Notre Dame's got to thread the needle. They want to do the actual school mattering thing and be relevant in football. Everybody else is just worried about being relevant in football. And it feels like maybe it's not going to turn out this way in practicality, but it feels like everybody else is just looking for more of a pro model, pay guys to play ball. We're not worried about school or whatever. While Notre Dame's going to have to try and do both. And that's a challenge Notre Dame's going to have to face that a lot of football factories where they don't care if the guys can read or write don't have to deal with. So we have different problems. And by the way, I want to add this. We chose these problems. Notre Dame chose these problems because we want to hold to our values and we actually want guys that can read and write and play football, not just play football. And I don't want us to give that up, but I think it's going to make life a lot harder. That's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Cue the Tupac. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same in college football. Change forever. Change forever. Oh boy. Tim, what's going on? I got a 484-951-386-574-480-224. You're all coming up. Tim, what's going on? Are you on the edge of your seat about the lacrosse or what?
I care. You better be watching it, not in a pool.
Can I watch it from a pool? Why can't I have a beer in the pool and watch it? Wait, come on.
As long as you're watching, that's fine. I have two other questions for you.
Okay.
It's like, have you ever? Question one.
Oh,
have you ever worn another school's sweatshirt, hat, or shirt?
Never. Nope.
Good
nope.
boy.
Nope. I did do that. How could I do that, Tim? Tim, how could I do that? You should know me well enough. How could I do that? I just can't.
No, because this leads into my second question. You play with A&M. I know it's a damn video game, but you play with A&M. Please tell me you never tried to beat Notre Dame.
What, in the old video game? When I used to play the old video game, no, when I played the old video game, I would just be Vince Young with Texas, roll them out and run for first down if nobody was open every single play. And then I made sure I wasn't playing Notre Dame.
But I played that with my friends. We used to do a Thursday night with that. But did you ever have to compete against Notre Dame?
I don't remember doing so. Oh, Tim, I might be lying to you. I had to wear that Woody Hayes. Tim, I had to wear the Woody Hayes hat when I lost the bet to the Ohio podcast over the game. But I don't count that because I don't count that shit at all because the only reason I was in a position to have to wear an Ohio State hat was my stupid belief in Notre Dame. So I wasn't ripping.
You just picked Notre Dame. Why'd you pick Vince Young?
Now we're conflating two different things. No. Now we're talking about two different things. I had to wear the Ohio State app because I lost the bet by saying Notre Dame would beat Ohio State. And because they can't count to 11, I had to wear a stupid white and red hat like an idiot on my show.
No, I get that, John. I get you're paying off on a bet. I'm talking about you've talked openly numerous times about having to play with Vince Young in the video game that was coming out. By the way, it's only available for PS5. You played with Texas, and you played with Vince Young.
Yeah.
So my question to you was, did you ever have to beat Notre Dame?
I don't think so.
If you're playing that and doing a season.
I didn't play a full season. I didn't play no full season. Dude, I was not a video game guy.
You never tried to beat Notre Dame. I didn't think you would.
No. Why am I trying to? That's like punching yourself in the face. Like, why? Like, I'm just not going to do it. The real world's tough enough in Notre Dame. I don't need a digital beatdown, too. I don't need a digital beatdown.
We played it because we had those clowns, the three coaches. When that was out, we were really bad. And I guess I'm the political guy. The only thing I've ever said is I don't like Kelly because he was lazy.
That's not all you've ever said. You're so full of crap. You add, it's not the Kelly part. It's the words you like to add in front of announcing his name, Tim. You're not going to play those games here on holiday weekend. It's the two words you add before you always say Kelly's name. Don't play silly with me. You know what I mean.
Fair enough. Agree.
So let me ask you a real question, Tim. How wound up are you about this lacrosse situation? I am open that my blood pressure doesn't move unless it's Notre Dame football. I know you live in. Is it that serious for you, the lacrosse?
Every NA sport is. Yes, it's still Notre Dame. Because you got to realize these kids picked Notre Dame where they could have picked other places. Yeah, I've told you before. I got into serious arguments with one of my better friends from Notre Dame, and he was a great basketball player. And he didn't follow the basketball program seriously enough. I was like, why wouldn't you? It's still Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I know what built the school. I'm not a moron. I get it. But they all matter.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I get it. And I'll tune in. I'm happy to do that and support the cause. Tim, what are your early thoughts on Texas A&M? What does this moment mean for Freeman? Like, where are you? Is there anything I said you disagree with or you want to add to? Where are you at on this ball game? No, I believe we're 12 weekends out.
And I want to bring up one final point before after that, because I'm going to defend my high school. I'm worried, like you said, our offensive line better be able to block the defensive line, but let's hope the new O coordinator or a repeat coordinator puts plays in that uses to counteract that. I think we will. I still think, going back to Tim's argument when you had the little piece on me, I wish we had put that Army game week 0, but we didn't want to do that for whatever God knows reason. That would have helped, but we didn't do it. Explain that one. But everybody losing their mind on the recruiting. The little kid that I was signed from defensive line from Xavier, or X, I should say St. X. People got to realize that GCL out of Cincinnati has been a feeder school from Notre Dame since the 70s. Actually got to the 60s. Parsegan used it. Holtz used it. He's 6'4", 240. He's not a small kid. He will develop. And what's the other thing? His dad played in the NFL. Is that a trend on how they developed this recruiting class? How many guys? I think it's like 5.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They brought in with dads that played in the NFL.
Yeah,
because I knew on Monday, everybody was losing their mind on your show. Oh my God, we're not recruiting well. No, they haven't. They went there and saw him. Give the guy, our coaches, credit. Stop being somebody on your couch that gets everything. You're not making the money. Who are you to judge? Let's see what we do on the field. And Freeman's done it. Okay, he's won 9 games in 10. What was Lou Holtz's first 2 records? He got blown out in a bowl game. Then what did he do? Yeah. So these people that want to run Freeman out of town, go root for another team, please. And if you want to give Kelly support and credit, go root for another team. I don't like you. I don't respect you. Kelly was lazy. He would have jumped ship in 2012 if he could have. They had won it. We got blown out. Bama was a great team. If one of those other teams, there was 2 teams that last week in the run defeated before Bama, we might have won it. We didn't. So you move on. But let's not kill Freeman. Freeman gets it because, hey, guys, I hate to tell you who wants a job, yes or no. And 2, you're going to say Fickle. I know that's where you're going. That's Brian Kelly 2.0. He's never going to take you to the top. We got to roll the dice and say Freeman gets us over the top. And if you don't want that, then go. Please root for somebody else. And the other point I'm going to bring up, if you want to join the Big Ten, I know Andrew geezed about us going to the Big Ten. You want that? That's going to be the saddest day ever. We may have to do it. I get that. But that's going to be the saddest day of my life.
Tim, God, I love you, man. Never change. I love you. Okay, but can you understand? Yeah, everybody knows my feelings on supporting the way Freeman goes about his business. But even I agree, we're getting to be down to the time where those results need to translate on the field in a major big way.
I agree.
And I agree with that it is about time that pressure starts to ramp up. People my age, Tim, we talk about it all the time. People my age have never seen Notre Dame win anything that matters. And there's fatigue and there's scar tissue and there's hopes and dreams that are let down every time we get into another season in those moments. Like, I understand the Irish angst. One of these seasons, we need to bust through it, man. We just do. It's about time.
100%. Take it, but it's not like I got put. My bad down here was 5 years under Jerry Faust. Then we brought the 3 clowns in.
Yeah.
I mean,
what if I had my show during the Weiss years? How would that have gone for this show, Tim?
No, because I would use the F word every other word with a FF. No. At least he liked Notre Dame.
You said FF, and I know exactly what that means. It makes it way funnier because I know. I know exactly what you mean when you say I would have said FF. I know exactly what you mean. And I thank you for not saying it.
I did not cuss.
I appreciate you not saying it, but I know exactly where you were going, and it's making me laugh in the worst way. You're a jerk, but I love you for it.
With him after that was he got arrogant about Notre Dame, said he hated Notre Dame. So,
oh God.
Whatever. But no, the other 2 clowns. I mean, no, and I don't think anybody lost his job. How you don't bet the most important hire you have at Notre Dame. I think George O'Leary would have been a good hire.
You're not alone in that.
Him and find out
you're not alone in that. A lot of people that could have changed the direction of a lot of that era of absolute dredge. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know what. But let's roll over. Like you said, the other thing I've thrown in my mind, if I was worried, because I think I pulled it up. I think Notre Dame has. I think it's 12-12. Unless the thing with the women's sports thing goes away, I think Notre Dame's modern men's sports are going to be gone, like golf, like swimming, like cross country.
Non-revenue generating.
Yeah, and you're going to you're going to have to submit budgets and say, okay, how much are you bringing in? Really nothing, and this is costing us this. Well, we got to pay this and this and this. Well, you're gone. Now they can't maybe cut the women's unless it's Title IX, right? They'll keep the women's. So if you want a title, all right, I would say women's or men's soccer would be safe. Golf is gone. Track and field is definitely gone. Swimming is gone. Diving is gone.
But won't they
budget line?
Won't they keep those because they're like Olympic sports and there's different exemptions made for like the track, whatever it could be for the Olympics? I think there's some to do with the Olympic sports. But when Title IX gets put into this with the money they got to do, I don't know how this is all going to work, Tim. I just need the smart people at Notre Dame to figure it out. Just you're smart and figure it out, and you have money. Figure out a fair way to do this. Keep your Notre Dame values, and we keep moving forward. I hope it's that easy. I hope it's that easy, but it probably isn't going to be.
Well, the other scary thing I've heard, and your program and stuff, and I don't think Notre Dame will do it, if they make these people employees, and this sets up like the NFL, where you've got and you can bid for a quarterback. All right, we got to pay. Are we going to salary cap this? They become bargaining unit employees. That's where everybody's saying we're going to get forced to the Big Ten. And if what are you going to allocate so much and salary cap? You really think these guys are going to go to school? I could see ND just saying, all right, we'll throw our hands up and what do? Go play in the Ivy League? I mean, I don't see ND doing both. I don't see how you can do that.
That's what I'm telling you. Pipa Vacqua, welcome to Notre Dame, because he is inheriting one of the most challenging periods you could possibly be the AD at Notre Dame, with huge changes. And he's got to thread the needle. He's not going to let Notre Dame fall out of relevancy under his watch. This guy loves Notre Dame. He is not going to do it. He's not going to let that happen. He's going to figure out a way.
He gets it. He came in as God willing, God bless us, because he gets it. I've heard him talk. The only school he applied to, his dad graduated from Notre Dame.
Yep.
He really wanted to be there. I think we're blessed with him. I really am.
Me too.
I'm not sure about the new president. I don't know a lot about him, but at least I think the AD gets it.
Yeah.
Like you said on your show a couple of times, he's putting priority on football being good. So
yeah, that does
I don't know
help.
if we can still do it though.
Yeah, we got to try and thread the needle.
They're going to come down and
He's got to thread the needle. There's no other way around it. You got to find a way to keep up with the Joneses and still value education and all the things that Notre Dame does different. I'm not saying it's easy, but you're Notre Dame's AD. You got to figure it out. That's his job. Figure it out.
But it is ironic when I'm watching a lacrosse game and I hear the word Buckner and he misses a shot. I'm going, are you kidding me?
There you go. There you go. Tim, you got anything else? Thanks for touching base, buddy. Hey,
I'm glad you never tried to beat the Irish. Enjoy your holiday.
Drink,
and let's hope I can send you
buddy.
with us winning back-to-back titles.
Drink a couple cold ones, sit back on the porch or something and relax. Have yourself a relaxing evening leading into the championship tilt. Okay, buddy? It'll be all right. We'll get it.
Take care, John.
Have a good one, buddy. Take care. Telling you, man. I don't think Tim was drinking today. That was very under control. I was impressed. We had no F-bombs. We had no Kelly. We didn't have any politics. Tim did very well. Very, very well. 484, give me some more. 951-386-574. 480. Try and get to y'all. What's going on, 484?
Johnny boy, what's going on?
I'm just enjoying this summer, man. I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for we got, I think, 12 or 13 weekends till the A&M game, and I'm still thinking about it every day. Where's your brain at?
Johnny, listen, A&M, don't even worry about that. They're trash. We're gonna go in there. That's gonna be a statement game for us. We're going to win by 3 touchdowns.
Oh,
I'm telling you that right
okay.
now.
I agree with you.
I'm not worried about everybody. Listen. Everybody's talking about A&M's defensive front. What do they do every year? 7-6, 7-5. I'm not. A&M is trash, and so is the SEC. They're garbage.
It's okay. Wait, it's a statement game. We're going to agree on that. I'm just not sure what kind of statement Notre Dame's going to make. And I don't want to act. Okay, do you at least admit going into that environment, it's going to be a rough first game with all the changes we have on offense, all this stuff? Where are you just saying none of that stuff's going to factor in at all?
You know what? The way we recruit, and you know what? Freeman's been hearing enough how he doesn't get us. I love Freeman, by the way. Like I like your last caller, yo. If you're all on board with Freeman, just leave right now. Don't. It's only going to get better. It's only getting. It's Freeman, the way he's recruiting, the way he understands Notre Dame, and the way he loves Notre Dame. It's how do you like that recruit we got yesterday, Mark Zachary?
Yeah, fantastic.
That dude's a baller.
Yep, fantastic.
Our recruiting is unbelievable, fantastic. I love it. You know what I mean? And we got Talos Golden, and then Ethan Long, and then we get Jadon Blair. Oh,
all right. Let me ask you this: what are your concerns on the offensive side of the ball? You cannot tell me. We're going right into A&M and the offense is going to click like everybody's been working together for years. Like, you got to admit there are some things on offense that you have to see before you believe. Am I wrong?
No. You're right about that, but I'm just not with Mike Denbrock and with the talent that dude. I love our. I mean, the way we recruit our old line, we shouldn't have any problems. And we are running back, and I even like the receivers that we got. And with Denbrock now, I'm not I to be 100% honest with you, I'm not worried.
Are you a gambling man, my friend? Do you ever put money on the Notre Dame games?
I I do.
Well,
You know,
okay.
I do.
So
I
you
would
do
say
know,
it's
you
funny.
do know then that A&M is favored. So you're in line to make a lot of money if you flip the other way and drop some
Yeah.
coin,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Drop some coin.
Yep. Oh, I'm gonna drop some big time coin.
Ooh.
Don't know about that, but like, I mean, I think we're going there. We're gonna curb stomp them. I'm not worried about A&M. A&M goes 7-7 every year, 7-6, 7-5. They don't scare me. And with that defensive front, okay, they got a defensive front, but look at the guys that we recruit. And look at the big boys we recruit. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. So, but I'm telling you, we're gonna go in there. And
All right.
I like.
So then
I just like Denver.
there's a really natural question that comes to my mind then. If you see Notre Dame not having trouble with A&M, what do you portend for the rest of the year then? Because that should, to me, that's going to be one of their toughest environments. I'm not saying one of the best teams they play. I don't know that yet. Toughest environments when you consider everything going into it, week one, all the new parts, the noise, the oil money, the cult male cheerleaders in their white overalls. You got to go up against all of it if you're the Irish. How are you going to do it?
Bring it on. Hey, we're Notre Dame. We're Notre Dame. And with all that shit you just said, that shouldn't phase us. Because if it wasn't for Notre Dame football, this country wouldn't exist.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. I mean, it shouldn't have phased us at the Big House in 2019, and it phased us. 2017 Miami, it shouldn't phased us. It phased us. Come on,
John Kennedy. Listen, look at our coach. He never got us in big games. We had Brian Kelly.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point by you. That's a very fair point by you.
At least with Marcus Freeman, you know, I mean, we're gonna be like, we're gonna be there. Right?
Okay, so are you thinking 11-1 for the year? Like, or do you think they should go 12-0, or you have them like 11? What game? If A&M doesn't worry you, what does? Let me ask it that way. If A&M doesn't worry you, what does?
You know what? I looked at our schedule. The only one I think we should run the table, but the only one maybe Florida State.
Yeah, and at least that you get at home.
Yeah, USC, but no, I'm not. Yeah, but see, that's the only one. But we got them at home, so I'm looking at the schedule. I'm not really worried. Like I think we should go 11-1, 12-0, and we're definitely making the playoffs. And if we don't, then I don't know what. Then we lost to a team that we never should have lost to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But what do you think about? What do you think about what's going on with our uniforms? I want to see us get the gold pants back. You know what I mean? But I did like what you said in your one show. The ND, it better be a lot more gold because it pops more on the white used to pop more on the navy. You know what I mean? I do like the gold ND.
It's got to be bright. It's got to be bright. If you're going to go with that, if you're going to go with the gold trim on those shoulders, it needs to be shiny and pop the way the white pops off the navy blue. If it's turd brown, if it's Weiss era turd brown, then I'm not interested. And it's going to take away the whole thing and look cheap.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that little thing clip on the EA Sports. But yeah, it's got to pop. The helmets. I think they better not take the gold away from helmets, man. The helmets. I love those gold helmets. You know what I mean?
Oh, me too.
The gold should match with the gold pants. Like I'm tired of that mustard, whatever brown.
Yeah, but at least they finally got the helmets right. They finally got the right shade on the helmets. Yeah, and in the lights. Oh, in the lights, those things are big. Those things are so gorgeous in the light.
Those things are beautiful. Oh, I love those. Yeah, those are the best. But yeah, the gold. They got to go back to the gold when they did it. They did it in 2019 when the 88 those gold. They did it for the Boston College game in 19. Those, if Under Armour can do it, then just make those your gold pants. Like I don't understand why they can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know either. And then I don't know, but I got bigger problems to worry about than them damn uniforms. You know what I'm saying? You could wear whatever you want to wear if you're going to go 12-0 and host a playoff game and be a real contender. Like then you could wear whatever you want to wear. So I don't know, but we'll see. Florida State's going to be really interesting. At least that one's at home. I don't think they're going to have the juice they had last year. Does Louisville interest you at all at home? Louisville at home after what happened last year or not at all?
I don't know. See, I wasn't a believer I was not a believer in Sam Parker. I mean, he looked like he was there for 6 years. He looked every big game. He looked like a fucking deer in headlights. And
It was tough.
He threw 3 picks against Louisville?
I think you learned that he has limitations. He has
And then in
limitations.
Clemson, he throws another pick.
I know.
It's like I didn't like him. To be honest, last year I did not like. I mean, the only good big game he played in, which we should have won, was Ohio State. And after that, I don't know what happened to him. He just like tucked his head between his legs, and he was throwing picks left and right every big game. Louisville and Clemson, and that Duke game. I mean,
Yeah, you got away with that one. You got away with that one. You paid the price.
He's supposed to be this guy who can throw it all over the place, and he's a six-year guy. And he threw 3 picks, and he threw a pick 6 against Clemson. I mean, God, that was a waste. We could have did that with our backups. Like this better. Another thing right now. This better be last year for these transfer quarterbacks. We got enough talent in the recruitment right now. I don't want to see any more going into portals for quarterback. We got Carr, we got Minchie, and we got Deuce Knight coming in. This better be it for the line. I'll be disappointed.
I agree with you. And
we got to go.
I agree with you. And what that would enable you to do is take the money you've allocated for portal quarterback the last couple years, and then go get a D lineman out of the portal if that's what you feel you need. If you need an inside D lineman or something, maybe then you could take some of that money you don't have to put into quarterback and be able to allocate it inside.
Quarterbacks anymore. We're recruiting great. They're recruiting linebackers. We're recruiting great linebackers. We're recruiting safeties. We're recruiting good cornerbacks. We got to do the D line. It sucks. What's going on with Damian Shanklin? Is he going to? Did he commit?
I don't think he ain't going to Notre Dame. He ain't going to Notre Dame.
That's unbelievable. And then we lost a kid from what was it last year from Chicago? The big dude, Justin Scott. It's like, oh my God, dude. We got to start. I mean, we're going to start getting them, but we got to land these guys.
Yeah, and we'll see. There's still a handful of spots, probably, depending on who the guys are left in 25. They want to get 25, 26. Maybe they could go more if it's people they like.
We're still going at it. Like, that's what I love about the staff. Like, these are all top-notch recruiters. And now we have a thing, but now we're getting these good players. But now we can start. Maybe we can go after these guys and start flipping. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's what I do like about the staff is they're going after all the big guys.
It really would be
like
nice. Flip a D lineman somewhere. Do something.
Take the NIL money and get these D lines. I actually think that's how we need. Like we're recruiting great everywhere else. So.
Yeah. Hey, I like it, man. I like it. Anything on the way out? Thanks for dropping in.
No. I think I got everything off my mind.
Beautiful. Well, why don't you have a good night?
Just don't worry about any of my bags.
I worry about everything. You know me. I worry about everything. Are you kidding me? The day I come in here and say I have no Notre Dame worries, check me into the mental institution because something's wrong, okay? I'm always worried about. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the lacrosse, okay?
Yeah.
Take care.
No, I do. I love those crocs. Yeah, let's go on.
Yeah, let's go Irish. Go our old quarterback out there. Nicky Dean loves to be heard and seen. $5 holler. Almost sent you $400 the other day. My wife would have killed me. You know what, Nick? I think I owe you money. Or not. Dies. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I owe you some gear, actually. Can you email me and let me know if that's accurate? Because I'm pretty sure it's true. People are asking, Andrew saying, why aren't you picking Freeman 12-0 if he's so awesome or whatever? You know how hard it is to go 12-0 statistically? I've gone over this again. I've gone over this before, I mean. Regardless of how good you think you are, why is my internet glitching? I'm not having any lags over here. Maybe it's you. Usually if I lag, there's an indicator and I can tell I'm having an issue. I don't see anything. It's hard to go 12-0 no matter what. For any team, Nick Saban, Alabama team, Georgia, whatever. It's really freaking hard to go 12-0. So when it's like, why would you go with 11-1? Where's the loss? My response is, and it's kind of a cop-out, I don't need to give you the loss. They're just statistically, it's more likely you're going to have one somewhere. I don't need to identify where it is so then you could hold me to it later. I'm just looking at the math of college football overall. It's really hard to go 12-0. It's really hard to go 12-0. And the other argument Andrew made is, shouldn't he be expected to go 12-0 with this schedule or whatever? Bro, everybody let Brian Kelly skate when he went 11-1 and lost Cincinnati at home. And it was the easiest Notre Dame schedule I could remember in a long time. And it was like, what a great year. Well, like, bro, 11-1. What else do you want? Great, strong year. You lost Cincinnati at home. I would. He had 3 undefeated seasons. And what did they get you, Andrew? How many? What was the reward for those? I mean, I struggle with an expectation of like, it's just year 3, you got to go 12-0. And then it's going to be, well, it's year 4. If you were good in year 3, you got to go 12-0 by that. You got to go 12-0 every year then, right? The Tony the Tiger Bowl gets you nothing. Obviously, none of that crap gets you anything. I'm just saying, man, it's just like, I think we're underestimating what it takes to go 12-0. I am. And the problem is when Kelly goes 12-0 and then loses 900 to negative 80 in whatever bowl game it is, it totally, there's no way you could feel good about going 12-0 when it ends in a humiliating blowout and everybody says the same stuff against Notre Dame they always say. Can't win the big one, doesn't have the talent, choke on the big stage, whatever. It's so frustrating to see them go 12-0, but the result of the 12-0 season is the same thing we've always had. Notre Dame sucks on the big stage or whatever. That's the rough part, man. Like all the 12-0 loses all of its shine when you embarrass yourself and pee down your leg in a playoff game. What do I know, though? Just a guy in his basement. 386 is up in the mix. What's going on?
Hey, happy Sunday, fun day there, Johnny boy.
You know what? I'm enjoying it. Little different kind of schedule here. I'm digging it, man. I'm having a good time. I like talking to the people, man. I love my crew here.
Well, tell you what, I've talked to my boys, Connor and Tyler. They wanted the old man to finally call in. So first time caller here on Memorial Day weekend.
I gotta tell you, sometimes it's hard for me to keep them all straight on the caller ID, and sometimes I'm like, which one am I talking to? Because I see the last name and then I don't know. Thanks for calling, man.
Hey, no problem.
It's Florida, right? You guys are Florida, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Wanted to make sure I knew exactly what I'm dealing with there. You're getting the heat. My parents were just down there last week and they said it's starting to really heat up down there, even for Florida this time of the year.
Oh, yeah, it was 94 today. It was cooking, so.
Yeah. Well, what's on your mind, my friend? Appreciate the call.
Well, listening to your show and stuff, and everybody's concerned about this year 3 thing. I don't see what the big deal is with the big number 3, because let Freeman get some of his recruiting in there, which is just now starting to turn the ball.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see different results. I have no doubt about that.
Are you certain that they're going to be? Now, wait. Oh, I love this. This is notes that I haven't even gotten to and probably will not get to. You're good, because this was on my notes. I literally have to go over on this sheet. Next year, you're really going to start to see the turnover from like the end of the Kelly guys and then into all like the Freeman guys are going to have to play more prominent roles all over the field. That's when you're going to start seeing how these evaluations are by the staff when they're recruiting, like what the traits they're looking for physically, and then put weight on a guy and get him into a certain, position or whatever. Next year is the year you're really going to be able to start to gauge those evaluations, are you confident we're going to like what we see? There's more depth, more athleticism, more length, speed. What are you looking at?
To me, there's all of that, and it's already starting to show. And for one, it's because we're starting to play the younger players and not just stay with the juniors or seniors that have been in there for 3 or 4 years. You got to let them explosive guys get experience and get them on the field. That's what Alabama and Georgia, that's what they do. You got to stay up with the times. And I think we're starting to get over that hump. I really do. And I'm one of the guys that have seen some championships, but I am also in you guys' boat where I'm tired of the last 35 years or something where we cannot win the big game. We can't win the big bowl game.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. And it's just you feel this way? Maybe I'm wrong. A part of me feels like if Notre Dame could break through in one of these moments, and it like the Ohio State situation last year, perfect example. A part of me feels like if Notre Dame could break through and succeed in one of those top-notch environments, I feel like it could like relieve the pressure, break the glass down, and open the floodgates of like, okay, we can win one of these big moments. And then it's like the confidence grows and you have some proof and not just blind hope, but actual proof. A part of me feels like that could happen, but it's got to happen. The first one's got to come.
It's got to come sooner or later. It's going to be sooner. And for everybody also that says Notre Dame is irrelevant, well, I mean, we're prime time first week of the game. I mean, come on, or first game of the year. Come on, let's get realistic here.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about A&M, by the way? What are your confidences and what are your concerns as we're about 12, 13 weeks out?
Well, when we're 12 or 13 weeks in, I mean, our coordinators are the top-notch ones in the country, I think. So, last year with Parker and everything, there's no changeability in play calling or nothing. That's totally going to be different. Denbrock's going to see some things, and they're going to change things up.
Yeah,
no doubt about that.
Man, I just
set in concrete.
I love. Here's the thing, man. You're older than me, so maybe you've had this experience. I don't ever remember a time in my life where I remember genuinely approving and fully supporting both of our coordinators. It's always been one or the other. And then the other one, you're like, I don't think they're getting what we need done. You would be hard pressed to find me two guys that are more professional and good at what they do than these two. I'm really happy about it. And it helps Freeman, a young guy trying to find his way. It's a good blend.
Yep, it is a good blend. And we, like you just said, we've either had a good OC or a decent OC or the other way around. Now we got both. And we also, granted, let's see what Riley Leonard can do, but we're starting to get the QB room going. We haven't had a QB room in forever. And that's where it all starts.
Yeah, you're right. So, it's a big difference. If you look at the quarterback rooms recently compared to what it's going to be, it's night and day. Just all of it. The depth, the top end talent, and the depth, it's night and day. Notre Dame has flexibility to be able to let these guys grow, hitch their wagon to the best one, whether it's Deuce or whether it's Carr, whatever it's going to be. They have some flexibility there. I really like where it's headed. And I hope they could get off the transfer guys, home grow a guy, and then spend that money on an inside defensive lineman or a rush edge guy next year if you want. That's my idea.
Yeah, I agree with that too. They gotta stay right on spot with top-notch quarterbacks. They do have to beef up the D line and get those guys some studs in there. The other thing is place kicking. We need a field goal kicker that when he lines up. There's no doubt in our minds that he's going to nail it right down the middle. There's so many times when you're on the edge of your seat and you just don't know what the hell is going to happen.
Man, isn't that another position where Notre Dame should be able to pay for like the best guy somewhere? If you're at like any smaller school and all you're doing is kicking, you may as well do it for Notre Dame and make more money and be on TV. Like, shouldn't that be an easy thing for Notre Dame to go in the portal and be able to get if they want or need it?
You would think that somebody would have the smarts to get into the school and want to play for Notre Dame. And, you know, when they bring out that little bag to you, say, okay, put that ball down and let's see your leg and let's go to town, get with the program.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, you got the kangaroo kicker. I can't wait to see that guy go. I want to see some trick plays where he keeps it and runs guys over for the first down. Like, that dude's a monster, and I want to see it in action.
Oh, dude, he's
huge.
What was he, rugby guy or something like that?
Yeah, whatever Australian rules football is. I don't even know what that means. Does that mean you chase kangaroos around? Like, I have no idea what it is, but he looks big and he looks strong and he's got a good head of hair. I know that.
Oh, yeah. That's all about Notre Dame. Good heads of hair now these days. But
yeah, no kidding.
let's put the football on the field and let's go, boys.
Yeah, I can't underestimate this week one situation, man. It is time to win one of these moments and set the year off right. And we go from there. I can't even imagine the nightmare this show is going to be if we lose Texas A&M. It's going to be a long few weeks for Johnny Boy because it's just going to linger. I really hope we just don't have to deal with it.
We're not losing. Now, I'm not saying we might get off to a slow start like we usually do, but I don't really see that happening either. Just with the coordinators and the talent that we've got going on, I really don't see that. And Notre Dame is used to playing in loud environments. We actually went down and watched them get their ass kicked down here in Miami a few years ago. That's the loudest I've ever been to a stadium. That place was electric. But, you know, again, comes down to play calling and this and that. So I think things have totally changed, though, and I think we're on the upward swing now. I really do.
Man, I like that. I hope you're right. It's a big year. It's a prove it year. In line, and everybody knows it. And it's a little, don't you agree? It's a little different when your big game like this is week one. Think about last year. We all had Ohio State in our minds, but it was 5 weeks in. So you got to get into the season, see what it was like, tighten things up a little bit before that moment. It being week one, there's always week one variance. There's always week one, each team feeling each other out. Elko's year one, week one. I got to think Freeman in year 3, week one, has his program further down the road to being all put together. And if he doesn't, it's a big red flag. It's a big red flag.
Yeah, it would be a big red flag, but I don't really see that happening. Remember back in the day when we'd open up with Michigan? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That was something right there those years.
Dude, you're of the age. You're of the age. Wasn't it like the Big Ten was our first part of the schedule, right? Before they get into conference play, you would play like Michigan, Purdue, Michigan State, Penn State, or something like in a row a lot of times to get them all in before they get into the Big Ten schedule. Am I remembering that right from being young or no?
Yep. No, you're right. You're correct. Yep.
Man, those are the days.
Them days are coming back, so we all can enjoy it again.
Oh man, so we need a big year here. A&M's a big flashpoint moment for Freeman and all of us, and it's going to be a big night. Anything on the way out, I really appreciate you and everybody from the family tuning in and supporting the cause. Means the world to me. Thank you.
No, just everybody have a nice Memorial Day tomorrow, and salute our troops, past and present, and let's go Irish.
There you go, man. Hey, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Take care now. Take care of yourself in Florida. Don't maybe you could go wrangle those don't they pay you to wrangle those snakes in Florida, man? I'm not that's a real thing, right? In the Everglades, and they'll pay you to go python hunt because it's an invasive species, and then you bring them in and you get money. It's the wildest thing to me, man. I told you before, I don't mess with no snakes. I don't trust anything without legs. It's just a general rule. You can't you can't trust anything without legs. You don't know how they're going to move. You can never know like how far away from them you have to be to get out of the strike zone. Like, bro, you don't trust anything without legs. That goes for sharks and that goes for snakes, number 1 and 2. Okay. 917, if I could hit the button. What's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey, John, it's Pat in West Palm Beach, Florida.
What's going on, man? Ooh, West Palm Beach. It's steamy down there right now, I heard. A little even warm for Florida, right?
Yeah, it's disgusting here. It really is. But I have to warn you that there's a point in the Texas A&M game that you're overlooking.
Oh, I love it. What is it?
A&M has a better coach than we do. And we know that because when he was at Duke last year, he outcoached Freeman. He had an inferior roster. He took the Irish to the last play of the game. And with a better roster, my fear is he's going to make Freeman look the fool again.
Ooh.
And I was in favor of the Freeman hire.
Ooh.
But let's be honest here. Freeman took a team, unlike Holtz, unlike Kelly, etc. He took a team that was averaging 1.5 losses per season, and he's turned it into a team that's losing 3.5 games a year. Now, I want to see the guys succeed. We got to be real. If we're going to hire a coordinator, we should have hired Elko, not Freeman.
And there was talk about that when he was doing a good job as DC, and there was talk about, and I know I said it on my show. It was before Freeman was even a thing in our minds, and I was going, just hire Elko. At least he's not a jerk, and I love what he does with the defense, and he runs a tight operation. Okay, I like this. This is juicy. So let me give you the other side of this. Okay, let's balance it out, and I want you to respond. I like this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear it. Yeah.
Okay. So even if you agree, Elko, and we all agree, I think, I respect the hell out of Mike Elko. I really do respect him a lot. And I think he's a really good guy too. And I have total respect for him. Even if you go with the theory that he's a better coach or whatever now, and maybe Freeman gets there when he has more tenure, whatever, I don't know. But I'm worried about this game in 12, 13 weeks, right? Fine. Is there no balance effect because it's game 1, year 1 for Elko, and no matter how good of a coach you are, things are still a little bit in disarray, and you're not really sure what you have week 1, year 1 of a new operation when you had 30 guys enter the portal and you got 28 back. How do you account for the instability of year 1, week 1, no matter how good of a coach he is? That would be a fair question I pose to you.
But here's the X factor. No one knows Riley Leonard better than Elko.
It's true.
He knows that kid's weaknesses better than anybody.
It's true.
He's going to make him look the fool.
Oh, I hope not. Now, okay.
I hope I'm wrong too.
We got a cat and mouse game. Then you got to say, Mike Denbrock, we brought you in here and you're the highest paid offensive coordinator in the country to play a high level game of intellectual football chess with Mike Elko and be able to figure out that he knows what Riley's going to want to do and try and do that. And then you have a workaround for it. Like, is that where we're headed, into a high level coordinator chess game here?
I'll take Elko on that chess game. And I'll be honest with you. I remember Denbrock when he was at ND. He got fired. You know that, right? The 2014 offense at ND that Denbrock led fell apart, where Everett Golson regressed. I mean, look, I know I'm in the minority here, but Denbrock has a lot to prove, in my opinion. And I say that because LSU just had, I think, 2 first-round wide receivers, and the Heisman winner, or guy who should have won the Heisman, throwing the ball. I mean, that was a super talented team, and maybe Denbrock recruited those guys. I don't think he did. I think they came before. I think they were before him. But the point, and I'll give him credit. Look, he had great players, and he got great results. However, I've seen Denbrock at ND before, and I didn't weep when he left the first go-around. I just didn't.
Yeah, and I think that's a reasonable point. There were more problems than just Denbrock with like Notre Dame at that point. So I think I would want to consider the big picture of everything in the mix there. And then let me address the other part of what you said and give you a theory on that as well. And I've had more than one Notre Dame person talk to me about this. The idea that Freeman inherited a 10 or 11 type win team, and then now we've regressed a little bit, and you could look at it that way, okay? I've had multiple people say to me, John, what if this is a situation where you got to take one step back to burn a lot of things down, to be able to build it up back good enough? You take 3 big steps forward. But when you're in that process, it's going to be very, very uncomfortable. Like, you got to burn it all to the floor. The Kelly having no depth and not developing nothing and whatever. Like, that's an argument I've heard too, is you got to burn all that out and rebuild your depth and rebuild the mindset and all that. And we've been going through that process. So one step forward that's very painful to end up in a place where you could get further than you got under Kelly doing it that way. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think that I was willing to take anything different than Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly, we're not winning. We're not winning. So we had to try something. What I'm saying is I've seen some troubling trends that I'm very concerned about Marcus Freeman, and I want him to win. But and I'm not going to rehash the 10 guys in the field, but just staying to the original point about the Duke game last year, which is the game we should all be really rewatching, right? Because it's Marcus Freeman versus Elko. And Freeman was saying at the end of that game that we should have kicked a field goal and had Estimate take a knee at the 1-yard line. And that's the kind of stuff that terrifies me. And I hope he kind of outgrows that sort of thing. But to the point you just made, I'm willing to lose 3 games the first couple of years if it gives us a chance at building something bigger.
Yeah.
Because Brian Kelly, we weren't going to win with that guy. We were not going to win with that guy. He should have been fired after the 2016 season. At the latest, he should have been walked out. And I have to say something, though. And this really enrages me. Shame on that AD for not firing him back in 16. Swarbrick. Everybody gives that guy a pass. Why? We endured Kelly for another 5 years when Swarbrick should have walked that guy right out the door after the 2016 season. And what was Swarbrick's reward for that? Kelly slapped him across the face at the end of that 2021 season, left the program in a bind where we were a week away from being in the playoffs potentially, depending on how things shake out. And Kelly walks out. So my point is, I detest Swarbrick too. I don't detest him as much as I hate Kelly, and I'm glad we got somebody new. I'm just telling you that Elko's the real deal. He's not a shit kicker coach, pardon my French. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's got a better roster than he had at Duke, and he handled Freeman last year. And anybody that thinks we're going to steamroll A&M is just didn't watch the Duke game last year.
Here's one thing I do think is in play. If there's ever going to be the best time for Notre Dame to catch Mike Elko, it would be year 1, game 1, because however good or not good A&M is, they're going to be a lot more put together the following year opening in Notre Dame Stadium. Then you got him a full year. Then it'll be at our place, but they're going to be a lot better than whatever they're going to be when we play them in 12 weeks. I know that.
Yes. No, I think that's right. But one of the things I think that doesn't get mentioned enough is that, Notre Dame has always followed, and your friend Goolsby, I'm sure, can confirm this, has always followed the NCAA rules when it comes to practice time. The SEC doesn't pay even the slightest attention to that. Those guys are working in NFL. Those players at the SEC teams are working NFL schedules.
Yeah. And guess what? There's not a lot of science classes built into that schedule, I don't think.
No, of course not. But it allows a team to gel quicker when they have much more practice time than their opponent.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, man, I'm open to everything you're saying. Like, I don't find it totally ridiculous. Some of the chatters are disagreeing with you big time. I believe what you're contending could be reasonable. Like, there are a lot of things there. The Mike Elko thing, knowing Leonard, that's a big deal. That is a big, big deal. He knows where that kid reverts to in his mind when there's pressure. He knows like what the guy does in every situation. You're right, man. I can't disagree with you on that.
No, I just hope Denbrock is the real deal. I hope I'm wrong about him and it wasn't all LSU talent dumping all those points on the board last year. And Denbrock, look, even if it was, Denbrock gets credit for it, right? Because,
that's the way it goes.
The team and you get the credit. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
But Denbrock better bring his A game and he better look at that Duke tape because he's going to have a hell of a lot better athlete. I mean, Duke was whipping us on the line of scrimmage. They had a defensive lineman, and I forget his name, that Notre Dame, he transferred out of Notre Dame because he couldn't get any playing time. I forget what the guy's name was. But here he is, offensive line back, and I'm like, wow, that's a well-coached.
Let me ask this.
I came out of that.
Let me ask this.
I came out of that game saying, I'm not sure the better team won here. I don't think it did.
All right. How much
the better team won that game?
How much of Notre Dame's Duke performance are you willing to concede may have been an emotional and physical hangover for what happened right before it? Do you think it's fair to say that had something to do with it?
No, I never buy into that. To me, that's garbage.
So you think every week is a standalone week and then there's no carryover of emotion, either good or bad, as far as momentum? It resets every week, win or loss, and there's no carryover? I don't know if I believe that.
I don't. I think that the role that emotion plays is greatly overstated. I think these young men
could be
devote so much time and energy into this.
You know what? You could be right on that. And I'm an emotional guy, so that makes sense why I think about that kind of thing more. I'm open to that. That may be true. And you know what? That's probably a question for Goolsby.
If anything, you should be in.
It's probably something I should ask Goolsby.
Look, when I went to ND, I wasn't a player. I was a student, right? When ND lost the game, they came back angrier the next week. In other words, they played better after getting beat. It's not like had they beat Ohio State and then they took Duke lightly, that would be one thing. But they didn't beat Ohio State. They lost that game. They should have been enraged taking the field against Duke. And they should have been enraged by a point spread that had those teams within a touchdown. It was a small spread. I forget what it was. They should have been taken out as an insult. Like, Duke is within a touchdown of us. We'll show you who the hell they are. But that's not what happened. So I don't really buy all that. To me, that was just a great game plan by Elko that shut down a good Notre Dame offense. And he's going to have athletes this time around. And, I don't know. I'm very concerned about the whole thing.
Man, it's interesting. I'm telling you, good call, though. You got a lot of people that disagree with you, but that doesn't mean it isn't a good call. It's well thought out. I totally understand where you're coming from. The people don't like it, but I think it's a good call. Fair to worry about. You bring up some good points. And then, you know what I want, man? I want you to save my number, give me a call back after the game, and hopefully go, John, my concerns were overblown and we pulled it off. That's what the call I want from you, man, in about 13 weeks.
I would love to have that call. I'd love to eat crow on this.
Oh, man, me too. But this is not a theory where I'm going, this is ridiculous. It's way out of left field. So I think I got to say, man, for a first call, pretty good job lighting it up on this one. Really like it, man. Anything on the way out? Thank you.
No, I love the show and keep it up.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Enjoy yourself there in Palm Beach. It's a beautiful place, though, man. Brother used to live there, and then they moved out a little ways. But what a beautiful place. Enjoy it, okay? Don't burn up, but enjoy it.
All right, take care, brother.
Have a good one. I like that call. We don't all have to agree on everything. Jeez. You guys are going to be mad, but I kind of got to go do something now. I wasn't planning on having this many calls. I figured 9:30 and then I could go get on the other call that I have to do for some other business for stuff I'm trying to set up to do other things. I feel bad. A lot of the callers that are waiting are regulars, so I feel like you'll get your time. And Andrew, obviously, I know, Andrew. He wants 12-0 no matter what, every single year. 12-0! No nuance. 12-0 for Andrew. What's the excuse? 12-0. And if you don't go 12-0, you need to go 12-0, Andrew. I know that's your thing. Who the hell am I calling? Don't worry about it. I got a lot of... You guys, I don't live a normal life. Do you all realize that? I do weird things at weird times. Like, I'm not a normal guy, okay? Commander, give me a break. That may or may not be true. Stop saying that. Well, let's not lose to Louisville. I wasn't expecting a big crowd on a Sunday night because I just figured people would be with their family or at a cookout or doing something. I really thought so. But I got a couple things I got to do. So I figured an hour and a half on a quick show, we could get it in, get it going. And I do admit, frankly, you didn't believe in excuses. That's great. Andrew, thank you. I know you get my blood pressure going, but I do appreciate your perspective. Thank you. But everybody be safe. Drink another beer, have a cigar on the porch or some, relax, listen to some music you like just enjoy the day off. Enjoy the day off tomorrow. Keep everybody in your hearts. All our service people, everybody you sacrificed, all that kind of thing. But yeah, man, an hour and a half flew by quick. Also, people asked about Pat. He's fine. He's just busy. Got a lot going on. Wife still injured on the mend from slicing her hand half off, whatever. And he's got a lot going on. He isn't boycotting the show. He's not divesting from John and he hates John now. It isn't any of that stuff. John, going to the Sox Brewers game next weekend. Can I borrow your paper bag to wear over my head? You don't have a paper bag at your house. Why is it going to be mine? Everybody has a paper bag. Like, put it over your head and be embarrassed if you're there supporting the White Sox. The only way I will go to a White Sox game this year is if it's in protest. I make a shirt for myself, sell the team, Jerry, whatever it is. This team, my team sucks. Like, the only way I'll go is if I make a political statement with it. But I'm not a guy you can just go to the ballpark to just have a day. Ooh, oh, it's a beautiful day. Let's go watch our team lose by 10, but it's a nice day, so we're going to have fun anyways. Not how John lives, bro. Not how John lives. I can't exist that way. $5 holler from the Philly special. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Be safe. Johnny, we need a summer Always Irish event. You ain't wrong about that. It's a really good idea. We're talking about a golf charity event where we could put together some sponsors, raise some charity money from different people, have a fun golf tournament somewhere, either the Warren course at South Bend, I don't know, something like that. I also don't want to exclude people because not everybody's into golf or physically can be involved with golf. And I'd kind of like to find maybe something that isn't golf that everybody can more do. I'm still playing with that. And so I still got to think about how we're going to do that. Bring your cat meetup. That's very, very funny. If you want to have no host to this show, throw a bunch of cats in a room with John. I will turn more purple than Brian Kelly, will not be able to breathe, and it's going to get real ugly real fast. Okay? A beer pong tournament? Don't even bring that up to Pat. Pat's like the beer pong master. We would have a party. Let's arrange 3 different tables and have a rotation of teams. And here's the house rules. And if you bounce the ball, you do this. Pat's all about the beer pong. He's the one to talk about that for sure. All right, you guys. Really appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. Sorry I got to end early. I got a kid upstairs making noise. The dogs are going nuts. I got a call to make. We just have a lot going on, okay? Everybody take care. Thank you for supporting the show. Really appreciate you being here. Take care of yourselves. We're going to take tomorrow off. Tuesday we'll have a video. And Wednesday we'll go live again and we'll be right back in it, okay? Everybody take care now. Have a good one. This Strip Club. I am a Civil War vet. Why is that funny? I'm just picturing like the way those Civil War guys look and they're like with the black and white with their mustache and like the whole Civil War thing. I don't know why that was so funny to me. That's really, really funny. What side? All right, we're ending this now. You guys are hilarious. Have a good one. Oh, I love this show. God.